And what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Mathew Medforth Show, a football podcast, episode 3. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much how this one started. I really don't have a plan for this week. I really don't. We could talk about the draft or how teams have done in the offseason, but I don't really get excited for the draft. I don't really. I get excited for when schedule comes out, like schedule release. I think we're like a month from that. I'm not sure when it is. I am not sure when the schedule release is, but it's sometime. 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 I just don't know when. Anyway, yeah, Look, I'm excited that the Cardinals have a high pick. Kind of. Like take Jeremiah Love and then take Ty Simpson. That'd probably be a successful draft. That's that's how I think of it. Yeah, that's how I think of it. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to see my team win games, guys. I just do. It makes me sad when they don't win games. And yet when they get so close to it's like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And the fact that they should have been winning a lot more games. They should have been. And I don't know why they weren't. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to be changing the way I do videos. So, today I went down to the dollar store, picked up some magnets. They weren't the same magnets that I bought when I made the power rankings board. And I'll tell you this. And this leads into a story. I think we might just tell stories about the channel this week because I pretty much covered the draft in my mock draft video. It's here on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. Just search for NFL 2-round mock draft or head into the channel. I should probably get the interface is to really show some good videos. It's like don't be afraid to browse or subscribe while you're at it. Like feel free, guys. Feel free to do what you want. It's just me trying to get to recreate live sports in the off season, recreate live football in the off season, and give my football opinions, and then have a little fun with it. Have a little fun talking about football. All's the whole reason I started the channel. It's like to get my opinions out there. I'm kind of glad I did. My YouTube channel, I enjoy uploading. Anyway, so yeah, I remember when I did my first power rankings in like a week before the season. Can't tell if I. Yeah. No, I did it just before the Micah Parsons trade. Yeah. So it was around that time, or like the day of, or maybe a day before. And I remember doing the power rankings was so tedious. It was. It was like I didn't even want to do the power rankings anymore. I just lost interest in doing it. Because I didn't lose interest. I kind of lost interest, but I didn't quit because I made a commitment to myself and probably to everyone on YouTube that I would do it week after week, and I am a man of my word, even though I missed week 3. Hey, but I tell you this. It's okay. So remember, I had to make digital graphics to put on the top right hand corner of my screen, to try and present my organization in a clear and organized way. And it probably said, it was a lot more than I pretty much needed. It, because. Excuse me. Pretty much more than I needed because, I mean, why put down the current record or have to make so many digital graphics when the standings, when people just look at the standings and it already dictates that, like, yeah, half of that's already there, or so why bother with that? Like, I kept going. I did that for like 3 weeks. I did that. That was my first ever power rankings, week 1 and week 2. Week 3 I didn't do a video because that's, I mean, I filmed the power rankings week 3. Yeah, commitment. It just didn't get out because my phone just flushed it in week 3. My device just flushed it. I'm like, no, you can't do this to me. Not now. Not now. It just flushed the power rankings, so I had to make a post of the rankings. And I thought, I don't want to have to go through this tedious process next week. And like, maybe I could craft up something that would make it easier. And then that's when I thought, hey, I got some spare time. I'm on Saturday. Or maybe I didn't. Well, I mean, I got some spare time. I could probably make a magnet board for this. And so I did. And then week four on, until the time that I didn't do power rankings anymore. Or I use that because, I don't do power rankings during the playoffs. I don't. I just don't. Because it's pretty hard to do power rankings through the playoffs. So week 18 I just ended it because that was the end of the regular season. Was it not? But yeah, especially because, from week 4 on, I think I set up the magnet board. Or like, my TV didn't even work week 3 anyway. Or did it? No, I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember. Or if it did or it didn't. One of these days it worked. It was quite soon, yeah. And then I crafted the magnet board that weekend. And then I've used it for power rankings or power rankings type videos ever since. Well, except for the CFL, but CFL you only need like no, actually I did use a whiteboard for that once. And I think I might do that again because that worked good. And I used a magnet board for it ever since, and then I taped the selfie stick to a camera pole. Well, I put that in. Put my board against the window, and off I went. And then every week I did that. And then, but I started to forget the rankings from week to week because busy life. And like, then it flustered me for the first few weeks of the magnet board. It's like, do I remember where this team was last week? I don't know if I do. So then sparked an idea in my head when I went to film, I think week 6 or week 7's power rankings. It's like, okay, just take a picture of the board. That way, you don't get flustered, and you can refer to it. And if you get flustered, you can count the spots that you're exact. So that way, you won't forget. So I took a picture of it with my phone. I put it to where I could view. So it's out of the way. And the camera. Like behind the scenes work. And that is the way the power rankings have been done ever since. And that is the way I think I'm going to do it for years to come, guys. For years to come. That's the way I'm going to do that for years. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, years to come. And I quite enjoy doing power rankings now. I didn't the first 3 weeks. I mean, sure, I enjoyed ranking teams, but it was like there had got to be a better way to get the point across. And well, it took me a few weeks, but I found it, and then once I found that, I never let it go. And I pretty much use digital for everything else. And I keep thinking, I kept experimenting with a small whiteboard I bought, like at the dollar store. Or at the dollar store? Yeah, no, it wasn't like at the dollar store. It was at the dollar store. And yeah, I mean, see if my magnets will stick to this. So I took a magnet, I stuck it, I put it on the whiteboard, see if I can remove it easy. There we go, this will work. Or one of the best purchases I could have made. And I did some videos on there. And then, well, rest is history, as they say. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was quite amazing, and how I could evolve the channel. I think I want to do more of like tier list videos and my predictions that I'm gonna do in July. Yeah, I think I want to do less of that on digital and more of that the old-fashioned way, because doing things the old-fashioned way instead of digital, I think it works better. It gets my thoughts out in a clear and organized way, and well, visually you can see everything instead of me having to crop the screen. And make everything all bunched up or something. Instead of me having to mess it all up, I can keep it organized, and I think that would work better for everyone. I mean, could you really blame me if you're wanting to do that? Because I can't blame me. So I think I'm going to be doing more videos. Those are even concept videos on there, except for Game of the Week. That has to remain digital because it's pretty hard to clone yourself and do it in real life. I can do it all in one take like they do in live sports. So that remains digital. Oh, yeah, I think the channel is going to I think it's going to climb in year 2. Ooh, I think I started out with 30 subscribers. I think now I have 138. One of my best friends, he only recently subscribed to me. I know I not should be talking about fans in general, but hey Mitchell, if you're watching, thanks man, and your support not as long as well as everyone else's support goes a long way on the channel. So yeah, thanks to everyone on who supports me, who and who continues to support me. As I keep going, making football content. Okay, now. Now, what if I was to do power rankings? I kind of miss doing power rankings, guys. I do. And so, I think I might just do a mock power rankings. These are not official. Like, things can change. Like, this is pre-draft. I'm not gonna do this like consistently. It's just like to mix it up a little bit. Or wait a sec. Maybe I should have done the starting grid in March. Maybe I should have. Maybe I was being. I don't know what I was doing, but I think I am going to do it now. Now, if I had to do power, if someone asked me, yeah, who do you think the worst team is? Someone asked me that right now. I would probably tell them the New York Jets. That's because, like, I see no optimism with the Jets. I think they're gonna have their best players are gonna not want to play there. They want to get rid of. They're gonna be rid of by week 6, and coach probably fired by week 8 or 9. We'll see how the draft goes. And I know New York's a big market and it can be tough to play there when things are going bad, but they always seem to go bad for the Jets. And if the second worst, it's between the Dolphins and the Browns for me. Like, those are two teams I can't see optimistic. Well, the Dolphins acknowledge they're in the rebuild. The Browns are just the Browns. The Jets are just the Jets. And the Browns, I think I have them a little better than the Jets because I see no optimism with them, but I see slightly better players, like Myles Garrett. Or they might, I don't know. Like, both of these teams leave my head scratching. Who would I put at number 29? Number 29. I'd put the Titans down there. Yeah. I look, I see more reason for optimism with no. Actually, that's where I'm going to put the Arizona Cardinals. I want to keep the Cardinals as high as possible, but look, I hate to be pessimistic, especially when I'm talking about my own team. Like, I don't want to be pessimistic talking about my own team. But sometimes things have to be done. And, yeah. Yeah, if someone asked me today, I'd say the Cardinals are 29. I'd say the Titans are 28. I still think the Titans are going to be bad next year. I just see a little more. Well, I see reasons for optimism with the Cardinals, but don't judge me. I'm a Cardinals fan, okay? I mean, sure, Kyler Murray's not on the team. Like, draft a new guy. Like, draft Ty Simpson in the second round. Because I don't think he's going to go a first-round quarterback. I think the only quarterback worth it in the first round is Mendoza, the obvious number one pick. There are not a lot of quarterbacks this year, but I think Trinidad Chambliss and Arch Manning are going to be in next year's draft. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they have their quarterback. They drafted him last year. 2 straight 3-14 seasons, but I see a little more optimism with the Titans, well, and the Cardinals, just because I'm biased, than I see with the Dolphins, Browns, or Jets. Like, I mean, I can't really blame myself for saying such a thing. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. Like, this is why I don't do power rankings when nothing's going on, because where do I put teams? Like, I can figure out some of the ends, but that's about it, guys. If I had to say today, I'd put the Raiders at 27, the Bengals at 26. No, I don't know where I'd actually put the Bengals. I know I'd put the Raiders at 27. That's why I don't do this in the spring. No, I'd put the Saints at 27. Or Saints at 26. I'd put the Falcons at 25. Well, I like some of their moves. I like some of their players, but I don't think they're going to be very good this year, especially in a NFC. Like, sure, there's reason for optimism watching Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts had a good year last year. You're like, maybe they could make some noise. Maybe they could win their division. I don't know. And the Saints, I think they acknowledge they're in a rebuild. I think they just need to continue progressing. Number 24, I'd put the Buccaneers here. Look, I don't really like the NFC. Well, there's one team I like in the NFC South. One. The rest of them, I don't really like. And Tampa Bay is number 24 for me because I don't think they're going to bounce back. I don't think so. Oh, I'm surprised they missed the playoffs. Okay, number 23 is where I put the Bengals. Look, if this was strictly offense only and defense doesn't matter, or at all, I would put the Bengals probably at number 1, because this is an offense I like watching. I'll probably repeat this in some of my power rankings. These might not even be the same by late August when I do the first official power rankings. But I'm just kind of having some fun with it, guys. Number 23 would be the Bengals. Number 22. I'd put the Packers there. Or yeah, that can come as a bit of a shock to everybody. And sure, I might be being mean to the Packers. But let me explain. Let me explain my reasoning. And before you guys go down in the comments, be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, I get Packers are usually a good team, but receivers are the concerning point for me. Unless they got for the Packers, well, they don't really have any. They got none. Well, I mean, they do have Matthew Golden and Sky Moore, but they don't have great receivers because their great receivers left the team. So, yeah. Yeah, I think receiving's a bigger problem than it is in years past. And I think it might cost the Packers their season. Number 22, I got the New York Giants. No, I don't, not the New York. I don't, this is why I don't do power rankings in the spring. Because I don't know where teams should go that would make proper sense. Well, Steelers, number 21, though. Yeah, number 21 does make sense for Steelers. Because, no, I don't think the Steelers. Well, Mike Tomlin gone. I don't think the Steelers are going to be going 9-8, 10-7 every year. I don't think so. On Aaron Rodgers, that situation's still up in the air. It's just weird times in Pittsburgh. But didn't they go through this last offseason? No, it's only a fluke they won their division. If Baltimore didn't get injured, they would have won their division for sure. So there's that for you. Number 20, actually. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys always are gonna go here. This is before we know any schedules or like anything. The Dallas Cowboys. Look, I think the Cowboys could be the worst team in the NFC East. Because, well, the Giants, they had... Oh, the Giants had an aggressive offseason. I'm a believer in the Commanders, and the Eagles are the Eagles. And the Cowboys, well, Jerry Jones is their owner. I mean, sure, I shouldn't be... Yeah, trashing people who run football teams, but like the management in Dallas, it's been bad. It has been so bad. At over the last few years, that well, now it's starting to affect the team's success. That's okay. Number 19. I'm going to put the Kansas City Chiefs here. Just because I don't know if they're going to bounce back. I'm not confident. I mean, sure. Or like the Chiefs are the Chiefs. But a 6-11 season, I don't think you can really say that right now. 6-11 season will do that. Yeah, so the Chiefs. I think they might struggle. I like what they did in the offseason. I just think Mahomes needs to go back to lighting it up like he did in years past. Not the last couple of years, but years before. Like I said it last year, and I'll say it again. If he doesn't do that, I don't think the Chiefs will get back their contender status. Much to probably the delight of the rest of the league. Okay, number 18. I'm going to put the Giants here. Here, I like what the Giants have done. Tough. The problem is they're in the NFC. Yeah. Look, I think the Giants can be better. Like, I think they might shoot for the stars, but I don't. I think the Commanders are more experienced, and I don't really think anybody's taking the Eagles down. And okay, I'll tell you a story. I picked the Commanders to win the division last year. If they didn't get injured, that probably could have happened. But the Eagles won the division again. So I basically look at that as like, okay. They won it 2 years in a row. They broke the curse. All right, this is their division until further notice. And further notice hasn't happened. Yeah, it's not even the next season. So, yeah, you can't really say that. Is Giants. Okay, number 17. I want to put the Colts higher. I really do. But they're in a tough AFC. I think they're going to be right there at the playoff line. Bringing Daniel Jones back was the right move. Instead of not being the 2025 Minnesota Vikings, they did the right thing, bringing back their quarterback who brought them success in the first place. I think it's going to work out for them. Okay, number 16. Someone asked me that right now. I would say the Vikings are... I'd put Vikings at 16 right now. And look, I'm just doing this for fun. Like, this doesn't count as an official ranking. I just miss doing stuff like this. And well, Hockey Guy, he has a massive channel over like the NHL. I watch him quite a bit because I also watch quite a bit of hockey. And he's inspired me to do power rankings. He does it every week. 32-1 with a visual board or something. It's what inspired me to do this. It's the power rankings the way I did it. And so yeah, thanks for the inspiration. But yeah, Minnesota at 16. Number 15. I'm gonna put Carolina here. Well, because sure, they have a little bit more to prove before I can confidently say they're a contender. But they had a great offseason. Like, they basically took a team who backed in. It was like, yeah, we want to win the division again, but we want to earn it this time. I'm bringing in Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd. Bryce Young looks good. They look like they're probably going to win the division. And well, the trend is for them, like going from 2023 on, you take the previous year's win total and add 3 wins to it. That because you add 3 wins, that's 3 games you don't lose because you win 3 more games. And with the trend, it would suggest in 2026 they'd go 11-6, and in the division they play in, and named the NFC South. That is going to be nothing short of amazing. Number 14, I put the Commanders right ahead of them. Look, I'm a Commanders believer, or I like watching Jane Daniels play. That's why I was disappointed. I was hard on Washington last year, and I kind of regret it now. Because, well, I didn't realize they were injured that much. Like, Washington, I'm sorry. I believe in you guys. It was just hard to see with all the injuries, but I'm going to try and be more easy with you guys. But please, guys, as I want you to start winning And I want Jaden Daniels to stay healthy. Yeah, I like watching Jaden Daniels and play on my television screen every Sunday. I do. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. So Washington, please keep him healthy. All right, now this is going to get really tricky because I've got quite a few teams here. I don't know which one goes in 13, which one goes 2. Oh, and I don't know which spots go in between. I would say I'd put the Bears at 13th because, well, the division they play in, they might regress. Like, I'm not talking like a go from an 11-6 to a what is it? And go from an 11-6 to a 4-13? No. I'm talking like maybe like 10-7, 9-8, or maybe they go 12-5, 13-4. I don't know. Oh, let the cards fall where they may. But I don't think Chicago's a bad team now. They're too well coached. A receiver could be an issue, but I don't think it's as big an issue for Chicago as it is for the Packers. And the Vikings, I mean, I wish Kyler well, but I'm not confident. All right, number 12. Do I put Chargers? What do I put here? I'm going to put the Chargers at 12. Just because, well, I don't know if they'd make the playoffs again. Like, if they stay healthy, for sure. Or, like, there are 4 teams that I could see in the AFC wildcard race. Okay, so one of them is probably going to be fighting for the AFC South. Oh, it's like I think there are 4 teams in my mind right now deserving of the playoff spots. Maybe even 5 if you count the Chiefs. He's if Patrick Mahomes focuses on football, and there's 5 teams deserving it, but only 3 spots. Oh, since 12, but I'm not confident in the Bills, so I'm going to put them at 11 right now. Because, look, I'm a little worried about the Joe Brady promotion. I don't know if it was the right thing to do. When they promoted the guy, I'm like, I'm not sure about this. So I mocked a playoff standing, and it did not include the Bills. I thought the Bills would fall just short if that would happen today. But I remember, well, I'm kind of being too harsh on them because they have Josh Allen as their quarterback. And we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm gonna put the Ravens back in the top 10. Yeah, no, I'm a Baltimore believer. Yeah, I like Baltimore. Like one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson. And when the Cardinals quarterbacks are playing well, then they're one of my favorites. But that hasn't always been consistency hasn't always been the name of the game for the Cardinals. Well, but it has for the Ravens. They're one of the most well-run organizations I have ever seen. Number 9, Detroit. I like Detroit. I like Dan Campbell. Well, like I like what Detroit's doing. And I don't think they stay down. Like if they go aggressive, they could win the division. Because, well, the Vikings, I think they have a well-rounded team. I think quarterback play could just be a tiny bit of an issue. Just a tiny bit of an issue. The Packers receivers could hurt them. The fact that they don't have top end talent like they did last year. And the Bears, I don't know if they're at the same level the Lions are when both are healthy. So Yeah, Lions missed the playoffs, finished last in the division. That's probably just it was probably just a fluke year. Here, and I think they'll be back. All right, what is this? Number 8. I'm gonna put San Francisco here because, well, they look at the division they play, and they play in the NFC West. Yeah, they play in the NFC West. I believe in the Niners. My Auntie Tracy, she's a 49ers fan. And I like the 49ers because of that. But no. No, I don't think Niners do have to travel a lot this season, especially because they got the game in Australia week 1. I think jet lag could be a problem for the 49ers. That's my biggest concern. Number 7, I think the Broncos go at number 7. Just because I don't know. Jayden Waddle trade should really help because now they got a clear-cut number 1 wide receiver. I've read some talk online that the Dolphins fleeced the Broncos. I think it's the other way around. I think the Broncos fleeced the Dolphins in that trade. At number 6, I'm going to put the Eagles here. I mean, bounced in the first round. Yeah, that hurts. Maybe I think they could maybe make the Super Bowl next year. Who knows? It's been up and down, but not like playoffs, no playoffs. It's kind of been like, don't go deep or go really far in the playoffs. But top 10, I'd say each of the last 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, don't sleep on Philadelphia. All right, number 5. I'm going to put the New England Patriots here. I think they're still going to be good. Yeah, they're going to have a harder schedule this year. No question about it, but I think they're a well-rounded team. And that I think is ready for a harder schedule. Oh, you forget, this is a team that was in the Super Bowl. All right, number 4, I'm going to put the Houston Texans. And it's Houston winning 12 games. I think it's either them or Jacksonville to win the AFC South next year. And I think that could be for number 1 seed as well. Like, when I think number 1 seed AFC, those are the first 2 teams that come to mind. I think Indianapolis, I think they're just a level back of them. Well, I still think they're going to be good. There just might not be room for them in the playoffs. And, well, I think the Titans need to rebuild for a couple years. But the Jags and Texans are ready to compete now. Means I'd put the Rams at 2 because I think they could win the NFC West. But I forgot to do number 33. Oh my, I forgot there was a 33rd team. Like, the Seahawks are the 33rd team. Even the Jets. No. The defending Super Bowl champions they sit atop of the board, or even in the fake version of this. In me trying to think out, I still follow the rules, even though I don't like it. Seattle goes at number 1. I know I don't like Seahawks, but that's from a rival perspective. And I think the Seahawks really rival my team, and they frustrate me when they're watching my team. I just can't see my team. I just don't like watching my team lose to Seattle. Well, it's like it happens every time. It's like they make it happen every time. Yeah, and I got to take one more point before I go. Looking at this, I think every team in the NFC has reason for optimism in something. I think the bottom three, I think, is just not going to be good years. Team reason for optimism. The NFC, maybe the Buccaneers, but I think the Buccaneers are going to be that bad. I don't think they're going to be that good enough either. Here, but yeah, I didn't even think the Raiders and Titans have reason to be excited for. Like, Titans, they're getting better coaching staff, and the Raiders, they're about to get their new QB and about, I think is the draft in a couple days now? I think it is. Yeah, a couple days. I think they're going to be selecting Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, I'm worried that they're not going to do it, but I more think about it, more it's like, yeah, there's no way they're not going to do it. And with the way they've been building around their team around, on even bringing Kirk Cousins to be a mentor for Fernando Mendoza. That worried me a little bit when they signed Kirk Cousins at first, but I thought, well, yeah, Raiders, if they're gonna build around Mendoza, like there's no way thinking that they're not. And they have the number one pick. The Cardinals would have done the same thing if they had the number one pick. I still think the Cardinals should have the number one pick, but I'm not gonna slander the Raiders. I'm not going to talk trash about the Raiders getting the number one pick. Well, I mean, I'm a little jealous because I'm a Cardinals fan, but it's all good. Like, Raiders, they're building for the future. I think the Raiders are going to make the right moves. All right, well, that's my podcast for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.